With the apple season over here in Western Australia, we were very excited when the manager of LadyCroft Orchard, Bec Whittaker, said we could visit to collect the unwanted apples. As budding homesteaders, keeping food costs low was one of the main things we wanted to achieve when raising our pigs, and we think these apples are going to make perfect free winter feed.
So here we are, and the place is laden with apples on the ground.
We were having a chat with the farm manageress, and she was telling us that with apples, a lot of the marketability of them is their colour, their consistency and things like that. So there's actually apples on the trees here, and that's not because they haven't, they were still waiting for harvest.
No.
It's because they didn't make the grade.
The grade.
So they taste amazing, they're really well grown.
Yeah.
I can see along as we look here, there's like a lot of diversity of weeds, it's not just one type of grass and apples.
Yeah.
So that sort of makes me happy too, because we're going to feed these to our pigs, and in the end it's going to go to us. Piggy's going to be sweet. We're reviving the old art of gleaning.
So cider is coming off the tree, pig food is coming off the ground.
We're sort of picking against the clock a little, well, picking against the calendar.
Yeah.
This piggy bounty is here for another month or so, so we'll have to get onto it.
Yep.
There's only so much we'll need to pick for cider because we don't drink as much as a pig can eat.
Yes.
Probably a sign we need more friends.
And we've roped in a recruit.
Yes.
An apple.
Everything has a cost.
Oh, yuck.
Even free apples. Pasky just found a nice old apple. To release some apple pressure.
Look at him go. Wow, it's really hard to hold the camera still when it happens, like you flinch just for them.
So we got in there before, this was quite impenetrable. Lots of blackberry. I got in there with my ice hockey stick. It's a fern hook. So this is sharpened here and blunt on there. The idea being you reach out and pull on any stem you want to cut. So I got in and cut the base of the blackberry so it could move. And we threw a few apples in there. We grenaded it with apples, and now the pigs have got in, and now they've got in and they're lifting all the roots of that blackberry and give this feijoa a bit of a touch up as well. So all of this that we couldn't get through, it's clearing up. So once the pigs move on in a day or two, we might actually go through and with the chainsaw and open this up a bit more so we get a bit more airflow through there. All that blackberry is pretty much done for now. So it's good. These pigs are doing a great job. Well, when their bum's not on the electric fence. See those roots getting snapped up, hey? They're so strong. They're sensitive, the blackberries that are quite young with lots of spikes. They don't like them. In these conditions and with this sort of thing, we don't need to provide the pigs with any housing at the moment. Like even though it's getting pretty close to zero of an evening, they've still been able to dig out here close under the vegetation, and they form a little pile of pigs with the most dominant ones in the middle and working their way out. And you come out in the morning and there's just steam coming up off them. They're not shivering, they're never unhappy. So the main thing is they can escape the sun, but a lot of the time now it's winter, they're out there sunbaking and having a really nice time. So I think we've made these 5 pigs pretty happy so far. Some pretty serious aeration going on there.
Has a wheelie been in our kitchen?
Things have gotten a bit out of control, I'm afraid.
So how are you getting juice out of these apples?
I did experiment with making a cider press, but and chopping up the apples roughly, but it didn't pan out. So we're just going to have to juice it with a juicer. And the pomace will decide, you know, the mulched up apples, will decide whether we want to feed that to the animals or try and press it. I'm leaning towards feeding it to the animals because I think by the time I mucked around with juicer and then pasteurised it for a while, I think I'll be done with it.
Yeah, I think so too. Plus there's more apples, we can go get more. There's always more apples.
Alright, let's bring the noise, it's not getting any earlier. So there we go, that was 10 litres done. It didn't really take very long at all. I got about a quarter of that bucket there of a 20 litre pail. About a quarter of that is the pomace for getting 10 litres. So we got a lot of juice out of that for not too much waste. It's not really waste, it's going to the chickens and pigs afterwards, so that's fine. So I got 10 litres. I've got a 60 litre fermenter that's just got sanitizer in it right now, and Patsky asked me to just, once I got the juice, to just chuck it in a pot to boil. She wants to pasteurise this one. She wants a little bit more control over this cider. We've done a natural ferment in the past, but we're only making 5 litres of cider, whereas, you know, like 60 litres, we don't want to blow it. So we're using a commercial yeast on this one. And yeah, pasteurising the cider to get rid of any natural yeast in there. We'll just see how it goes. They're really, really sweet apples, and we've got some very high alcohol tolerant yeast. So I don't know, this one might just blow our hair back. We'll see how we go. What do you think?
So yummy.
It's basically just sugar and water at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's flavoured. It's flavoured of apples.
So this came up really clean. So it's just about ready to go in. It's steaming pretty hard.
It's great. So the pigs have eaten all their apples. They've been in the second paddock for 6 days, I think. It's time to move them on. They're ready for fresh pasture. There's a bit of noise going on in the background. We'll go see what Troy's up to before we move these pigs. I think they're pretty excited to get on some new ground.
Some friction on him.
You've made us handles?
I've made handles. So that one's Pasky's one.
Yep.
It's got the smiley face. Instead of going and buying for $6, $7 a pop, we'll just make them out of this
PVC pipe.
PVC pipe. So just basically the feature is a little hook that we can hook over hard line or soft line.
Yep.
And the reason I've done it with these slots like this is that we can very, very quickly determine how much line we want from either end, okay, and adjust it, but there'll be no knots.
Okay.
I don't like putting knots in this stuff, and the reason being is it's not just like normal rope. It's this poly rope, but it's got strands of metal in it.
Yep.
And the more kinks and knots and everything else like that, the higher the chance that it's going to break. So
And be less effective.
be less effective. Why don't we have a look at how this works once we're setting them up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We also saw you running the line on these spools. Why are we doing
Yeah,
that?
so there's a known quantity on here, 70 metres.
Nice. Both of them are 70?
They're all going to be 70 because later on our movable paddocks will be 15 by 50.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So 65, and that'll just leave a little bit of extra. The reason why it's nicer to roll line rather than put it on like put it on like a hand line.
Yep.
No twisting. Twist this line, it'll come really tight like that, and then
you
kink.
can snap the wire.
And yeah, so over time that wire might weaken. So that's always a risk with this stuff, but we want to try and preserve it for as long as we can.
Yep.
These ends, if you just cut them, they really do need melting. So I did that with the other end.
Yeah. Yep, that's melted on.
Really melted. So I need to do the same with this, really flatten it out.
Okay. That work?
Yep. Melted ends are key. So at the moment, this part of the fence is safe to touch. It still hasn't got that metal hook on there. So we'll just let's do our test. So that's just a fence tester. It's got a probe for the earth and a positive. Yep. Okay, we're getting about 7,500 volts through there with that contact. That's pretty good. And nothing through there just at the moment. Nothing. So this bit of wire actually acts just like an isolator switch. So I'll just take it off that hook that's got nothing. Oh, I heard it crack then as I touched it. And we'll just have we'll just check if we're live. So there's a good contact there. It's getting like 8,000 volts. So this must be 8,000 volts as well. Just the way that those jaws were touching must have had only a small contact. Now we'll just go and test the other side of the fence because that's around and contacting onto this. So we'll check that and then we'll know that the whole perimeter is secure. We know that this is electrified, these two are electrified, we'll check those, and then everything's just, as you saw, a continuous run. It should be good. This I do not want to touch now. I've just hung it up out of the way. Yeah, it's just hovering around that 8,000 and the bottom one. 8,000, so 8 K, which is 1,000, V, which is volts. This is not something you want to touch, and especially our little piggies. Pig, pig. We've never been this far before. Pig, 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 pig. Oh. Come on.
I like it.
Pig, pig, pig.
Pig, 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 pig.
Pig, 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 pig. Woo, pigs.
Watch out for that wire, pigs. Oh, I don't want them to get shocked and then...
They won't back. They go around those other ones. Don't stand in the way of them.
There you go, as I thought. Yep. No, he's not going to want to go. It's alright. Oh, it's seen the wire.
We'll just let them find it.
Oh.
Oh, look, Chipolata's going to discover the food from the other side. Surely you can see a pig at that other end and walk in. You can do it.
Pig, you're through. But all the pigs are now in the paddock that we planned for them to go into. It just took a few hours to get 3 of them to cross the threshold. It was quite a small opening and they didn't trust it at all with the wire on either side. So we just let them take their time, went and had some lunch and left the gate open and put some food on the other side of the gate. Now they're all in here. You've got grass all over your face.
So this is all very very successful from the pig's point of view. So this is just a sawn off bit of treated pine log, just attached to this star picket, and then that was attached to the log. And now this can just be belted in wherever we want. At the moment these pigs are drinking from the dam. It's plumbed all the way here to this part of the house, and because it's gravity, the pig nipple can handle it. We tried it on scheme water under pressure and the valve isn't strong enough, but it's great for gravity. So everything from here on now is just dam water.
All the frustration today trying to get the pigs into the paddock is worth it.
Wasn't too bad. They like that clover. Look at them, they're not even going for the roots.
Yeah.
We were just admiring the weight gain of our little piggies.
Yes.
So they've gone through 300 kilos of apples.
Roughly, yeah, maybe 400.
How many days has it been? 4?
We got them on Friday and it's Tuesday today. So they got through like 300, 400 kilos of apples in 4 days. Roughly 80 kilos per pig.
And that did nothing to stop them from rooting around in the
Yeah.
dirt and finding stuff. And I was giving them
A ration?
I
ration.
put them on their half grain ration as well.
Yeah.
So they've been pigging out.
Yep, totally picking out. We're going to get some more hopefully at the end of the week. But yeah, we've just been standing here watching the pigs for like the last half an hour.
More apples, not more pigs.
Oh, did I say more pigs?
No, you just said we're going to get more.
More apples, yeah. And hopefully more chickens soon too.
Who said pigs can't forage on pasture?
So Troy finished the last of the apples last night. I think he got just over another 20 litres. So we've got over 40 litres, slightly over 40 litres of apple juice in here, fermenting away. And he put the yeast in when the liquid inside got to the right temperature. And we woke up this morning and we got this wonderful sound. So we know that the yeast is working and that fermentation is happening inside our barrel here. So this is exciting. We're not sure whether we're going to secondary rack yet. We'll show you what that is if we do it. But for the time being, we're happy with this fermenting away for the first week. And if all goes to plan, we should have cider in 4 or 5 weeks, which is very exciting. A big thank you to Bec and the team at LadyCroft Orchard who let us harvest the apples that featured in today's episode. A special thank you also goes to all our wonderful patrons who have continued to support us on our new venture. We truly would not be able to keep bringing these videos to you all without them. Until next time, thanks for watching, liking and subscribing. Bye for now.